Right Honorable, we are representing a workforce of 417 employees deployed at the IG headquarters and 16 regional offices. We appreciate Parliament for enacting and enabling laws and appropriating the budget for execution of the Inspectorate of Government mandate. We also applaud your effort, Madam Speaker, and that of the committees on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee and the Budget Committee that enabled the Inspectorate of Government budget to be increased from 79.4 billion to 81.7 billion in this current financial year. We appreciate that very much. We'd also like to register our sincere appreciation to all the members of Parliament for their continued support and good working relationship with the IG, and I'm hopeful that with your continued support, the Inspectorate will be provided with the necessary funding and support to ensure effective implementation of our mandate. This is a very crucial matter, Right Honourable Speaker, because our view is that the Inspectorate of Government is categorized as a consumptive sector, but in reality, it is not a consumptive sector. In reality, we are mandated to save money, to recover money, and to stamp out corruption. You've heard us speak, Madam Speaker, that a scientific research was done, and this country is estimated to lose up to 10 trillion shillings per year to corruption. If the Inspectorate of Government was adequately funded, this figure could significantly come down. 10 trillion per year is nearly 44% of our domestic revenue, generated revenue. So when 44% of domestic revenue is lost to corruption and nothing much is done to stop that, I think is overlooking a very important sector of the economy. Madam Speaker, the Inspectorate of Government, as you know, our mandate is to promote just utilization of public resources, and it is derived from the functions as enshrined under Article 225 of the Constitution of Uganda as amended. We execute our mandate through the performance of 4 cardinal roles, that is, the anti-corruption function, the ombudsman function, enforcement of the leadership code of conduct function, and the research, education, and advocacy function. I hope that you have this document. I'm just wondering, Madam Speaker. Our organization structure is listed below. I'm just giving a summary. We function under the Directorate of Finance and Administration, the Directorate of Ombudsman Affairs, the Directorate of Leadership Code, Special Investigations, Anti-Corruption, Research, Education and Advocacy, and we also have a Directorate of Risk Monitoring and Control, +1 for searching for strategic partnerships and public relations, as well as Information and Internal Inspection Division. The Internal Inspection Division is our own IGG within the IGG to ensure that there is strict adherence to rules and regulations within the IGG ourselves. And we also have a compliance unit that follows up orders and directives and recommendations arising out of the IG investigations. We have a unit that follows it up. Madam Speaker, under the IG strategic priority, during the reporting periods, the Inspectorate of Government prioritized prevention of corruption as the main approach in the elimination of corruption and promotion of strict adherence to the rule of law. Through this prevention method, Madam Speaker, we have kind of opened up the IG, Inspectorate of Government, to the public. We are inviting the public to join the war against corruption and to recognize themselves as victims of corruption. And this has been achieved through mobilization of the citizens to own the war against corruption by empowering them to fight corruption. In addition, we continue to monitor and inspect projects of government. We investigate, prosecute, and recover proceeds of corruption. The IG management has also embarked on the journey for digital transformation to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in the process. And at this point, I'd like to say that this is a point where we really need your support, Right Honorable Speaker, for digitalization of our functions. As we speak today, our functions are about 20% digital and about 80% analog. That makes our functions very slow and indeed compromises our efficiency. Furthermore, we conducted research on the cost and extent of corruption in recruitment of staff by district service commissions. The research was conducted in 20 districts across the country, and we also conducted another study on the cost-benefit analysis of outsourcing private recruitment firms by government departments and agencies. The research was undertaken as a result of various complaints received on issues of irregular recruitment by commissions, and preliminary findings confirm widespread corruption in recruitment process in government, especially in the district service commissions. The final report is expected soon and it will be publicized. Right Honorable Speaker, we are now here to submit the Inspectorate of Government biannual performance report, and in the table before you is a summary, but the complete reports are here, and we have brought many copies for Parliament. I will briefly take you through the summary of what is contained in the main report in this table, and we show you the progression from the later half of 2022, July to December 2022. We compare it with similar period in July to December 2023, and then January to June 23 and January to June 24. Most of the work that we do is generated through complaints that we receive from the public. And in July to December 2022, we received a total of 1,068 complaints. The following year, the same period, they had risen to 1,276. And in January to June, they had risen further to 1,309. And in the last period under review, January to June 2024, the complaints had risen to 1,657. And we attribute this growth to our engagement with the public, so that people know more and more that they can report to the Inspectorate of Government. With your permission, I'll probably not go through the entire table, or if you prefer me to do that, I can still do it. But we are showing the new complaints that are registered. We'll also show the investigations that were carried out, the investigations that were concluded, the corruption. We divide them into investigations of corruption. Some are ombudsman functions, and others are in breaches of the leadership code. They are categorized in that way. We have also indicated the funds that have been ordered for recovery, ranging from 33 billion in July to December 2022, and then 10 billion in the next half of the year, and 15 billion in the other half of the years. This is the money that we confirm that was stolen, and we order that it be recovered. Some of it is recovered in assets, and we have confiscated assets worth 2.3 billion, 2.7 billion, 5 billion, and this year alone, 2.3 billion in assets have been confiscated. We have also cases for prosecution in court from 30, 40, and 25 and 38 cases that are in court for prosecution, and currently our conviction rate is 71%, the conviction rate. We do verify, Madam Speaker, you remember that you launched the declaration of assets period last year in March of 2023, and since that time we expected declaration from 380,000 public servants, and we achieved a declaration of about 88%, and we are supposed to verify all those declarations. This year alone, we have verified about 532 declarants. Of course, a very, very small margin, but all this is because of resource limitation. The figure was raised by an amendment to this act from 25,000 people who are supposed eligible for declaration of their assets to 380,000 without raising the resources at all. And we find this anomaly necessary for Parliament to consider as the committee considers our budget. But we did raise this with our budget, with our committee that supervises us. We have, Madam Speaker, inspected this year alone over 1,000 projects of government. Government projects, we inspect them and we monitor their performance, and under the leadership of my colleague, we have inspected over 1,000 government projects. From the above table, Madam Speaker, it is evidence that there was an increase in the number of complaints received by the IGG, the number of investigations concluded, funds ordered for recovery, and an improvement in the conviction rate. The increase is attributed to improvement in the internal processes such as prosecution-led investigation and increased citizen engagement. Madam Speaker, I would like to inform you about our major implementation challenges. The big one, of course, Madam Speaker, is inadequate funding by the Inspectorate of Government, and this has led to pile up of cases. We received so many cases, but we are unable, because of the limitations on staff, space, and funds, to deal with them all at once. So we have a huge backlog of cases. Actually, as I speak now, our system has over 5,000 cases waiting to be investigated. We also have a very old fleet of vehicles that are very costly to maintain. And Madam Speaker, we also have a very high turnover of staff due to lower remuneration compared to government agencies in the same category. For instance, the judiciary, they have, since the enhancement, they have much better terms of service and also terms of exit. And that sees a lot of migration from the Inspectorate of Government to the other. Of course, that takes away the experience that we would have built over time, the resources we have built in training, and all that goes with it moves as fast as the staff move to other agencies. We also have a big problem of failure of government agencies to resolve service delivery grievances at source. Increase in complexity and sophistication of corruption in government. Most government systems, Madam Speaker, not just the IG, are still analog, which lacks audit trail and is hard to monitor. This leads to delays in services rendered and thus facilitating more and more corruption. Madam Speaker, I would like to end this summary with some recommendations. In order to ensure that the Inspectorate of Government effectively implements our mandate, we recommend the following. We would like to ask for the following. 1, government, some of the outstanding activities that we have, government should provide a budget of 45 billion to enable the Inspectorate of Government head office project to be completed. This is a project that is running almost into a decade. We are trying to construct offices, and this will save our budget of nearly 3 billion shillings per year. In addition, for digitalization, and this is a key requirement if we are to measure up to some of the institutions of government that we have to monitor that are highly digitalized. Our a journey for digitalization will require an estimate of $10 million. Government should also consider increasing the IG budget for operations, new vehicles, and equipment, and the 5th National Integrity Survey and staff training and recruitment. Madam Speakers, it is recommended that ministries, departments and agencies and local governments should establish or activate internal grievance handling mechanisms to ensure complaints are resolved promptly and effectively at source. We also recommend that government should fast-track digitalization and digital transformation in all government institutions and also train oversight staff in forensics and cyber crime. The government should urgently conduct a salary review for all public servants to have a fair and just remuneration for all public servants. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, as I hand over the report to you, would like to thank you for giving the Inspectorate of Government the opportunity to present to you the 50th and 51st biannual Inspectorate of Government performance reports to Parliament. It is our prayer that the reports are laid before Parliament for discussion in accordance with Article 231, subsection 3 of the 1995 Constitution as amended. It is now my honor, Right Honorable Speaker, to hand over the report to you.
231 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. We sincerely want to congratulate you. And pursuant to Article 231, 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, I will cause the reports to be laid on the House at the earliest time possible. And I'm happy to share this here. And this will be referred to the Committee of Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny and report back to the House. So we shall have these reports laid on table next Thursday. I recognize the critical and ever-increasing need that is in IGG in terms of budgetary requirement. I've just had your analog. I think you're one of the institutions that is analog, and it would be good if you went digital for you to do an audit training to find out what is happening in all other centers of yours. So it is one of the things that chairperson we should consider looking at. And the issue of them having their own home. I hope you have visited the site. We visited the site, we need a report on that and see how best we can be able to support IG on that, because they are spending a lot of money on renting, and if we can get that money and we can get money to give them for completing the building, that would be a very good thing. As Parliament, we will continue with our role of oversight. We will always do oversight on you. We will do our legislation, and most importantly, we will do appropriation for you to be able to get what can enable you to do the work that you're supposed to do. And lastly, I know you're creating awareness to the public about corruption, about misuse of government funds and that kind of thing. I want you to really increase on that awareness outside there. Create a lot of awareness. Create friendship with these people. When you create friendship with these people, they will be able to tell you so and so, Patricia took this. and that's where that will be a starting point. So when you go on the radios, I was in Eastern Uganda and I heard Patricia speaking on the radio, and I said, "Hey, so this is what now has happened." I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed, and you'd find people saying, now don't joke with IGG. Anything you take, they will come for you." So when you create awareness, it will reduce somehow some kind of corruption that is outside there. I want to thank you once more for coming over, all of you for coming over. Now today you are all three here. The whole inspectorate is here. We want to thank you. We don't want to take a lot of your time. You never know, by the time you leave here, in between, another person will have stolen a lot somewhere. We want to thank you for coming. And always, this is your home. Parliament is your home. Where you need support, we are here. We are here. I have told you the only thing Parliament cannot change is change a woman into a man. But we can do everything. We can do everything, and we just want you to work with us. We support each other. We are one. We belong to one government. We belong to one government, and we will always support you unconditionally. Without wasting a lot of time, I want to thank the good Lord for really enabling you to come and having that insight of saying that we want to have this report looked at, because as now we are about to go for recess, the chairman should be able to look at your reports properly. This is the right time. I don't know how you thought about it, but we thank God for it. And I say all this for God and my country.
So